What's up, family? Tank Commander Zulu back at you once again, and the Real Man Movement. Salute to all the subscribers, to all those who watch the videos and share the videos. And when you're watching the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps with the visibility of the channel, and that the message about the Real Man Movement can reach more audiences. Once again, I salute you. And if you are not subscribed, I invite you to become a subscriber of the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. Just go ahead and press that subscribe button. And once you hit the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon that you can hit also that will inform you about all the movements we will be making here at the Real Man Movement and with Tank Commander Zulu. Today, I want to deal with ignorance. Not only ignorance, but ignorance on steroids. Think about that for a minute. Here at the Real Man Movement, let's get into it. Fire in the hole, baby. Date for 28, baby.
Yes, sir.
It's a date.
28. Date for 28. We about to go big.
28 place, baby.
Big time right here.
All natural gorillas.
Yes, sir.
Straight organic.
Yes, sir.
Wrapped up for this, baby. It's easy work.
Boy about to go all the way down in the hole.
Gotta get in there, man. We gotta do it.
Man.
Because they think it can't be done.
Right.
Gotta do it. Because they think it can't be done. Let's get this, baby. Easy money.
That money, man.
Get that work.
Get that money.
Get that work. Yeah. Yeah. Level up, baby.
Yeah, got that.
There it is.
Boy.
Ignorance on steroids. It's a very dangerous thing. Matter of fact, ignorance on steroids will destroy you, without a doubt. You may think that you're doing well in the beginning. Being ignorant on steroids, you may even feel like you're right, like your position is okay, but it is actually killing you from the inside out. Well, let's talk about ignorance. What is it to be ignorant? Well, ignorant, you can be ignorant in a certain subject that you are not aware about, that you don't have education about, a subject that you just know nothing about. You're just ignorant about it. All of us have been ignorant about something one time or another, and still today we are ignorant about some things, meaning that we are unaware, that we are not educated in that particular subject. You're ignorant in that area. And there's nothing wrong with that. But now, when you try to talk about a subject or engage in a situation that you are ignorant about, and take the perspective as though you are educated about it, that's a form of ignorance on steroids. In other words, when you talk about something that you have no clue about what you're talking about, you are uneducated in that area. You are ignorant in that area. But when you talk about the subject as though you know what you're talking about, that's ignorance on steroids. You see, ignorance on steroids has the ability to destroy a person. Just like steroids, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with what steroids are and what they do. Well, steroid is a man-made chemical. It's a man-made version of the hormone testosterone that men normally and naturally have. It will give you increased strength. It will give you increased endurance. It will give you power. You see, the steroid will give you things physically for a time. But the other side of that, the other side of the steroid user is that it also causes heart damage, kidney failure, liver disease, all kind of blood and heart and circulatory conditions. It destroys you from the inside out eventually. But the user of the steroids, they find happiness in the beginning because they see that the steroid is making them stronger. They see that their muscles are becoming bigger. They see that their endurance is becoming better. But only for a while, without realizing that they are destroying themselves. And I've seen many people. I've never touched a steroid in my life, but I've seen many people that were on steroids, and I'm 50 years old. And those people, to this day, back when I was younger, who were on steroids, are either debilitated now or dead. But for the time they were on it, they were big, they looked strong, and they were happy with the effects that the steroid was giving them. I'm saying all that to make the connection to ignorance being on steroids.
Tank Commander Zulu in the house and the young bull. Freestyling today, baby. Don't care what nobody thinks. It's about what you do. Don't never chase the next man. Chase the next weight you want. Easy with it. There you go. Look at the boy. Look at that young bull. Look at that young bull go. Go, young bull. Go, young bull. Woo, look at it. Look at that young bull go, baby.
Once again, we understand that ignorance is simply a person that's unaware or doesn't have knowledge or uneducated in a certain subject. And what do you find when a person is experiencing ignorance on steroids? When you are experiencing ignorance on steroids, you have no idea what you're talking about. And just like the steroids do, some people can make a lie sound like the truth. And they can do it with eloquence. They can make a fabrication or something that they know nothing about and turn it around as though they know what they're talking about. Not understanding that that is planting the seeds of destruction. And destruction leads to many other things. When you destroy yourself because of being ignorant on steroids, not simply because you are unaware of a certain situation or subject matter and you go and investigate it and find out the truth about it and you become educated and aware, then you're no longer ignorant. But when you remain ignorant, when you don't try to seek awareness, when you don't try to seek education in the subject that you're dealing with, and you're only speaking from your emotions, which mean nothing, then you are experiencing ignorance on steroids. It's a horrible experience to be ignorant on steroids, to experience that phenomenon. You'll meet people every day of your life, all over the world, throughout the world, who display ignorance on steroids. They have absolutely no education, no awareness in the subject that they're talking about, but they feel the need to try to educate you through their miseducation. That's ignorance on steroids. You see, you always got to self-evaluate first before you pass the judgment, or matter of fact, you don't pass judgment on people. But before you examine someone else, always examine yourself first. That's what real men do. Am I suffering from ignorance on steroids? Am I unaware about a subject and I'm trying to deal with it as though I am aware? And not realizing, just like the natural steroid does, that although I feel good about what I'm doing, I feel good about what I'm saying, is it destroying me? Yes. If you are suffering from ignorance on steroids, you are being slowly deteriorated. You know, in the Bible, in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, the Bible says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And that's God's word. He's relaying the message to Israel, who he called his people. And they were being destroyed because they knew, they had seen his goodness and his power and his mercy and strength. But they act like as though they forgot about it. They stopped turning to God. They became not only ignorant, but their ignorance was on steroids. Any way God would tell them to go, they would go the opposite direction. Anything God would tell them to do, they did the exact opposite. Knowing that God has mercy, not only mercy, but he has power and he has strength to do all things. Israel's ignorance was on steroids. That verse goes on also to say, and I'm going to paraphrase, to speak about, since God says to them, since they reject his knowledge, that he will reject them. And not only them, their children. You see, that's what the ignorance of Israel produced. It produced a destruction. Remember, the verse starts off, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." They were destroyed because of it. They were being destroyed. That's what ignorance on steroids produces. The Bible gives us a great example of that in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They're destroyed. That's what ignorance on steroid produces. Destruction. Just like the physical chemical steroid will do. Over time, it will kill you. There's no getting around that. I don't care what people say. You see guys today, they accept the fact they want to be on steroids so bad that they even champion the cause of being on steroids. Well, it's my body. I should be able to do what I want with it. And selling that particular crazy idea to people and killing them. In other words, these people who promote steroids are ignorance on steroids themselves. They are so ignorant that the thing that will kill them, and many of them have already died because of it, the thing that will kill them, they will tell everyone else that it's okay. The chemical that will cause them heart disease, kidney failure, liver damage, all kinds of situations. They will sit there and tell you that it's all right. Not telling you that eventually you're destroying yourself. you will destroy yourself.
Hard work, baby. Come on. Back-to-back sets. Come on. Dig. Prepare your mind. Prepare your mind. Let's go. Come on. Get in there. Get another one. Get another one. Woo. Real man movement, baby. Good job.
And that's the idea behind ignorance being on steroids. Are you suffering from ignorance on steroids? Remember, if ignorance simply means that you are not aware or you are uneducated in a certain area, a certain subject. And just because you are ignorant of something, you don't know about it, you can fulfill yourself or fill yourself with knowledge about the situation before you speak on it. That's the cure. The cure to ignorance on steroids is embracing and accepting knowledge to bring you back to life. But when you are ignorant and that ignorance is on steroids, just like Israel in the Bible, they actually turned their back on God. God's word says that they were suffering, they were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And because they would not accept the knowledge of God, God would not accept them. And a destruction was ultimately to come. You see, as real men, we have to be sure that we are not suffering from ignorance on steroids. In any form, any subject, any condition, any challenge we face, we should be as educated as we can about the subject. We should go and seek knowledge about the subject before trying to give advice to anyone about something we really don't know anything about. We should accept the knowledge that is most of the time right there in front of our faces. But we refuse to seek it. But we also want to be an authority on a subject we know nothing about. Just like these fools on the internet who champion the cause of using steroids and telling this to young people, young men and women who listen to them and not realizing the destruction that they're producing in their own lives. Why? Because they listened to a person who was suffering from ignorance on steroids. I'm just using that analogy because it seems to make a perfect connection. As real men, we want to make sure any task that we challenge, if we are ignorant in that area, that we become knowledgeable in that area, that we seek knowledge, that we gain knowledge in whatever area it may be. Because we're all ignorant in some area. But when we embrace our ignorance in that area, we don't know nothing about it really, but we're speaking on it off of emotions. That makes you a candidate for suffering from ignorance on steroids. You don't know what you're talking about, but you're talking as though you know. You don't know what you're doing, but you're acting as though you know. Real men don't do that. We acknowledge the fact, okay, I don't know nothing about this subject. I'm ignorant in this area, so I need to get myself informed. I need to seek knowledge and become informed. And by doing so, I inoculate myself from becoming ignorant on steroids. Listen, I hope you brothers out here and sisters out here listening to what I'm trying to say here and make the connection. Are you suffering from ignorance on steroids? If you are suffering from ignorance on steroids, here's the cure. The cure is that you become knowledgeable in whatever area that you are ignorant in. The cure is for you not to embrace your ignorance with opinion. Don't do that. If you know nothing about it, don't speak on it. If you continue to speak on ignorance as though you have knowledge, you will be destroyed. It's going to produce a destruction one way or another. It can even destroy people around you who embrace your foolishness, who embrace your ignorant opinion as though it's truth. But real men won't allow that to happen. Here at the Real Man Movement, we are enhancing everything about a real man that a real man should possess. And one is how to handle ignorance. Meaning when we don't know something, how should we respond as real men? Not as fools. Not as someone suffering from ignorance on steroids. Throw them out. You don't need it. All you need is a strong spirit, mind, and body. And remember, fear no man but God, baby. No man but God. Tank Commander Zulu signing out.